Oh, what is good, YouTube? Good morning, fellow traders. Today is April 28th, 9:10 a.m. It's been quite some time. I feel like I barely record anymore. I feel like I barely trade anymore. Today is Tuesday. We are back on a brand new account, and let's get into today's trade recap. Coming into market open, you know, we've been so bullish over the past few weeks, but that's just not something that let me define this. That's just not something that we saw coming into today. Today was the first time where I actually, not the first time, but first time in the past few days where I actually wanted shorts. And coming in the market, we were just bearish before we even came in the market open. Not if you see this 9 p.m. candle, 1 a.m. candle, 5 a.m. candle, this is the 4 hour. And we're just showing bearish order flow. And, potentially we could have taken out all of these draws that we have to the downside. And now we have these liquidity points, but these are not necessarily session lows, but these are targets that we could potentially be looking at come market open if we want to tag into them. And so at market open, we obviously had this 1 hour that we were trading within. And once again, I just want to see the higher time frame translate to the lower time frame, right? And so coming in the market, we had came out and swept this New York PM low, and that's really the only draw we had around. Market open is right here, and I was potentially looking for a Judas just due to how bearish we were. If we come to the 15 minute, we did have this gap right here. We had this gap right here, and then I believe, yeah, that's really the only gap, right? So coming in, we see that we tagged it once prior to market open, and then let me just actually put on this as well. We tagged it once coming in a market open, and then we tagged it a second time at market open. So I was looking for this Judas to get shorts, to take shorts, but I didn't like this close right here. Anything like you would have had to front run this and with 100% certainty, and that's just not, that wouldn't have been a good bid in my opinion. Due to the fact that this was the only gap that we had, bullish gap to take shorts coming out of this 15 minute that I just marked up. And so I was really hands off. We did end up getting, and once again, I was targeting these lows that we had put in prior to market open as a draw potentially for shorts. So if I did want to take this, I would have taken it to here, but this would have ended up being a break even anyway. So it's good that I didn't take that. But we did have this 1 minute bearish gap after we did we did have this 1 minute bearish gap, and this would have been nice to take as longs. As we could see, we did sweep internal liquidity right here. We swept this internal liquidity, and this would have been a great long to take. Would have been kind of a wide stop. I would have probably had my stop below the gap. Due to this V shape, you really don't want to see price come below this gap due to the amount of bullish order flow that we're showing. And you could have taken this to your first break even. Potentially, it is a unmitigated 15. This unmitigated 15, there was a 1 hour above as well. So I mean, you're probably going to be targeting a 1 to 2 though. So I don't know how far you would have taken this, but this was a nice textbook long after we get an internal sweep and a 1 minute inverse to the upside. But once again, due to the fact that I was just so bearish, I didn't want to take longs, and it was 2 minutes into the open. So I was kind of hesitant to look at that. But we wait a while. We end up mitigating this 15-minute gap actually, but we tag into the 15 right above it, as you can see right here. And it's textbook. You tag into your higher time frame gap. Step one, check. We did that. This is a bonus question that we can check off as well, where we have this higher time frame, not higher time frame SMT, but an SMT at the highs, right? We have this SMT at the highs, check. So that's just an extra confluence needed. And then we had a 30-second bullish for value gap get inversed, check. And that is really all you need when, trading on the 1 minute, day trading, I should say. And so after seeing all of that, I did take shorts. What's it called? I low-key got a bad feel because I was looking at the 1 minute time chart when the 30-second inversed, but preferably probably should have got a fill up here. That's just preference, not preference, but just a little critique. Anyways, 30-second inverse, we took it. So we did end up taking it before we inversed this 1 minute. And I liked what I was seeing. And we ended up taking shorts. This would have been the break even, or no, this would have been TP. Break even would have been right here. And yeah, just a clean, super clean play for a nice 2.7 RR trade. And yeah, I hope y'all boys caught a dub. That's really it. Should pass the account by end of the week. Once again, just looking to take clean trades and get back into my rhythm, my flow. Consistency is all we ever ask for as traders. Yeah, I hope your boys caught a dub. Market has pretty much died down. But yeah, that's it.